a big test this week, Josh, reigning Premier. Looking forward to it?
Yeah, we are. It's a great challenge. We've had a few challenges this year, and the boys have got a bit of confidence out of some strong wins, so there's no greater challenge than the reigning Premier. But really excited, a chance to go back to Etihad, our home deck, and back up some performances, and that's been the challenge for us, as it is for most teams, to back up some strong performances, and we'll get a great look this week of exactly where we're at.
The midfield's obviously one of their great strengths. You've got Ben Jacobs, probably the informed tagger. Who does he go to?
It's a good discussion we've been having as a coaching group. We're very blessed to have Benny back, and it's been well documented how strong a role he's played for us this year. So, as with every week, we'll train today, and we've done a little bit of opposition. We'll sit down this afternoon and have a closer look. And there's obviously a few guys there from Richmond who posed some strong questions for us, and we'll find out Sunday arvo exactly what his role is.
Jared Wade, I imagine, comes back in after being rested. Majak Dor, how's he looking? Do you think he'll be fit?
Yeah, he's tracking well. He's training today, so him and Wadey, we're hopeful will come up this week. So it'll just be again how they train today. And Madge has been a real positive for us this year. So we certainly love to have him back, and we'll be dictated too by training and how he pulls up.
How much belief do you think the boys got out of last week's win against Sydney?
Oh, a lot of the belief, but it's. It counts to very little unless we can back it up with another strong performance. So, I think this year as coaches, we can fill them up with plenty of words and belief and trying to say all the right things. But unless they go out and do it, and until they go out and do it on a consistent basis, that's how you earn that belief as a playing group. And I think away wins in places like Sydney, really hostile environments, do wonders for a young playing group, and our guys, will get a hell of a lot out of that experience and being able to hold on in a really close game like that, where we fell a bit short last year. So we do get a lot out of it, but we can't pat ourselves on the back too much, because we've got another big challenge this Sunday.
You expect that Rance would go to Ben Brown? He tends to take the deepest forward.
I think Rance took him in the JLT for fair chunks, but Asprey's also taken him at times as well. So I think they're very flexible with how they set up down back. They've got some quality defenders, so we don't look into it too much in terms of we can't control who plays on Brownie. All we can control is really looking to challenge them up there, and we think we've got enough firepower up there to do that. But it's going to be about supply and getting our guys enough opportunity.
Gary Lyon was talking about some of the forwards and whether they're being manhandled and double teamed and sort of pushed off the ball. Have you got any concerns about that? I mean, a lot of attention on Benny in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it is a fine line between allowing. I heard Rance the other night talk about the one-on-one and the physicality of the game. You still want that component, but as defensive coach, I probably don't want too many ticky touchwood free kicks. But Ben Brown, the thing I guess from our point of view, he's 200 centimetres. He runs and jumps to the ball. He attacks the footy. He doesn't play for free kicks, and he's very hard to defend when he jumps up. I don't know. He gets probably 3 metres over the ground, so it's very difficult to defend because a lot of guys are giving away size and height. So hopefully the umpires are all over it, and if they see a free kick, they pay it. And as I said, Ben's a ball player, and hopefully he just gets a fair crack at it.
Ed Vickers-Willis, saw him just down there before. What's the latest on his injury?
Yeah, it's he obviously hurt his knee on the weekend, so they're just going through. He's obviously got his scans this week and some specialist appointments, so it doesn't look great for him. But in terms of exactly what rolls out of that, we'll find out in the coming days. But he's been a massive positive for us up until the unfortunate injury on the weekend. He's been super, been one of our real positive lights down back, and it's a real shame for him. But the sort of character he is, he had a bit of adversity over his first couple of years and last year, and he bounced back, as we've seen the early part of this year. So this is just another little blimp on the road for him, and he's just got to do what we know he'll do and get back bigger and better.
He missed, I think, the second half of the season with a similar injury last year. Are you expecting him to get back before the end of the year?
Don't know, Nick. Yeah, it'll be just wait and see what comes out of his catch up with the surgeons, and then obviously surgery. It can be, it'll just be a wait and see.
How much do you react from week to week to tribunal decisions? Obviously, you don't want your players being sidelined, the nick-nat tackle and those kind of things. Would you recalibrate that with the players, how they should tackle?
Not really. It's very difficult if it's week to week. We've got a strong philosophy on how we want to attack the contest and in particular tackles. So, I don't think we change too much. And a lot of it, when it is outcome driven, it's pretty difficult to change when there's a bit of luck involved. Obviously, we want to avoid any dangerous acts which put players in potential danger. But when there's things that are potentially out of the players' control, I think as coaches we've just got to take a step back and just align our philosophies and what happens.
If Whitey comes back in this week, potentially a three-pronged forward line, a lot of talls, when I think a lot of other teams are going smaller, can you play the three big blokes in attack at the same time?
Yeah, we definitely can. I think it's a bit of a theme amongst a lot of teams going a bit smaller up forward, but like Port a couple of weeks ago, part of that's injury. They didn't have Paddy Ryder. So part of that's injury and part of that's potentially just how they want to structure up and set up. So for us, we don't really look at it in terms of their how tall they are. We look at it what sort of players they are, and for us, we're lucky with Mason Wood covers the ground really, really well. He's like another midfielder in terms of he's one of our best runners. So we think while he's a real challenge in the air, he can get up, he can pressure. So his height is irrelevant in many respects. If you have four guys that are 200 centimetres that don't run very well, then you're probably in a bit of trouble. But Wadey, Mason, even Taz and Madge down back, they cover the ground so well. So I don't think height is that big a deal.
Who's your small forward or your medium-sized forward if Dusty does push forward?
Defender?
Defender, rather.
Yeah. We've got a few again. It's been one of our strengths this year, just being able to mix and match. And Port challenged us a few weeks ago, and Sydney also playing a smaller forward line, but I thought we handled that okay. So Scotty Thompson, I said Ed's probably been the one who we won't have this week, who's been mixing and matching a little bit. Madge, Robbie Tarrant. So we've got guys there that can play a bit taller and good one-on-ones like obviously Dusty is.
Just looking at Scotty Thompson now, he's sort of got some bandaging on his wrist. He seems to be favouring one of them. Is he 100%?
Not sure. Might have been from the rest last week, drinking too many coffees and just doing these ones. He's he's fine. He's like Scotty. They're obviously getting on in terms of age. They're well into their 30s, but the way they've been training, the way they've been playing, and the way they are around the playing group's been great. So it just reinforces why we kept them here.
Did you hear his mum's comments during the week on radio about some of the sledging he gets? He probably deserves.
Wadey?
No, Scotty Thompson.
Oh, Scotty Thompson. Yeah, I don't know. I think I didn't hear that, but I think he's done great to change the way potentially his perception is. I think early in the career he was. He got into blokes a fair bit, but now I just think he's a terrific footballer. He just plays the game on its merits, and he probably gets remembered for the Barry Hall incidents and some of the incidents from early in his career. As now, I just think he's a quality defender.
Has he copped a bit of stick from the boys at all? I think his mum even said that he used to have trouble with the ladies and things like that.
Anyone who's anything like that, you're going to be in trouble with the boys. So I haven't heard anything, but I've got no doubt he would have been reminded, I'm sure.
So if you're a player, is it confusing the Nick Naitanui decision? I mean, how would you be if you're a player, as a former player?
Oh, it definitely is a little bit. I think with I saw some tackles. I haven't looked into it too closely, but I saw some tackles that looked like Naitanui was very similar in his action. He's just a big, strong guy like Madge. Madge has laid some really strong tackles the last couple of weeks, and we're applauding him for it. And if coincidentally the player through the action slung his head and he touched the ground or hit the ground, Madge is in trouble. So I think when the outcome dictates the penalty, then we're in trouble. It's one reason one side we're applauding him, and then the next, if their head hits the ground, then we're suspending them. Then as a player, you're going, what do you want? So I think some consistency around whether it's the actual action that's the issue or the outcome, would help everyone.
Conversely, though, I mean, it can't be that confusing. If you're a big bloke like Majak Dor or Ben Brown, surely you're tackling differently to someone like Sean Higgins.
No, I don't subscribe to that. I think, as I said, Madge and those guys are terrifically powerful, so it's very difficult when the ball spills a metre away and those guys just go at the ball as Nick Nat did. It wasn't like he'd come from 30 metres away and had a big run up. There was a loose ball. Player had it. It's against the nature of the game to slow down to then tackle. He's trying to dispossess and stop his opponent from handballing the ball away. So to slow down in that instance you'd probably get a clip from the coach because anyone might have got rid of the ball and then it's a whole different discussion. So it is very, very difficult in the split second to weigh up, am I tackling Majak Dor here or Carl Amon? It's a bit harsh, I think.
Could he have done more to not land on top of Amon?
Maybe, again, it's a free kick, so I'm sure Gavin Brown, our tackling coach, he'd be disappointed with the free kick. So, yeah, you've got to roll them, and that might have helped. So, again, from a technique point of view, definitely don't want to give away the free kick.
It's not Benny Jacobs' his ability to get a lot of possessions as well as stopping his opponent. It's a pretty critical sort of mix for a tagger these days.
Yeah, it's amazing that he's sort of evolved his game considering he's missed 2 years. He's come back in and been able to evolve a little bit from even where he was a few years ago. So, again, a big thing, a tagger can be a great positive for you and a plus, but can also get dictated to a little bit if you allow it. So Benny's been so good this year, just been able to change his role. He's very driven and very with his eyes on the goal, eyes on the prize. But this year what he's been able to do is just change his rolling game and just move on to the next target and just play. If the ball's there to be won, he wins it. And I think that's the evolution for him and in that role.
Luke Davies-Uniacke back for a stint in the VFL last week. Is he in the mix this week or more likely to need a bit of time in the VFL?
No, he's definitely in the mix. Yeah, he's obviously someone we've got a huge amount of time for, and he's in the footy he's played so far this year, it's been great. We've given him some JLT games and 5 or 6 games in the AFL side, and he's shown us in snippets exactly why we drafted him. So went back to the VFL last week and did some nice things. So he just jumps in the mix with a number of other our players, and we'll see what shakes out on Thursday night.